Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well and welcome back to another thrifty video. Today we are going to be talking about what I sold last month. So this is November 2024. We're looking back at October of 2024 to see how much I sold, what pieces sold for really good money, and how much I actually made as a part-time, full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. So it's very interesting to look at this month, especially because we saw quite a few different changes going on in the selling world, especially with Poshmark. We saw them change their fee structure this last month, and I made a few videos about that. And so we're gonna see how that affected my sales because it 100% affected my sales. So let's look at this thing. So I'm gonna talk about my overview of my numbers first, and then I'm gonna put up all of my things that sold for a great amount of money on the screen for you so you can see what they look like, but also their brand tag and all of the important details. So as we look at an overview of October 2024, my total sales from Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari totaled $2,992.03, which is my worst month in a very long time. I also, on Poshmark, only sold $1,715, which is the lowest I have sold since July of 2022. It has been years since I've sold less than $2,000 on Poshmark in a month. So absolutely kind of crazy. And I can see that the only outside factor, especially since this is a fall month, and usually my sales start picking back up. My worst months traditionally are in July or June or like somewhere in the summer because the summer slowdown is usually a thing in reselling. But this month was the worst in years, which is not good at all, especially since it was my best month ever on eBay. So on eBay, I topped $1,000 in sales. I had a little bit over $1,000, $1,010 to be exact. And the Mercari was not bad either. I sold $266 on there. So really the only thing that really changed this month was my Poshmark. And I saw a huge dip, not only in likes, but also in offers and in sales during the period where they changed their fee structure. I saw it scare off a lot of buyers, and I know some people didn't feel that way. I know that some people said that they still had an increase in sales. I do not think that is because Poshmark was charging more to its buyers. I think that was just because of the season we are heading into. My overview, it's still a lot of money. Like, I'm so thankful that I have what I got this month, but I also, from looking back, I make these videos every month. I definitely saw a decrease in sales only on Poshmark compared to everything else I sell on. And so if that was you too, you're not alone. But yeah, so from that almost $3,000, so close to being $3,000 of total sales, I had a net sales of $2,496.72. In addition to this stream of income, I also make these YouTube videos and I work with sponsors and things like that. And so that's not the whole of what I make each month, but that's a big chunk of it. So super important to share that. Now let's jump into my top sales from the month. I'm gonna share with you guys things that are around $50 and above, just so you guys get a good look at the things that sold for a good amount. I had a record number of low price sales this last month. I was just accepting any offer I could on Poshmark, trying to drive some engagement, trying to drive some sales over there. So I had tons of sales for under $10 or around that, which is not usual for me. It was a strange month, wasn't it? And I'm gonna head on over here so you guys can see the beautiful pictures and videos of these items. Okay, so we're gonna start with the least expensive and move to the best sales of the month. And I had quite a few sales over $100 this month. So we have good numbers to share with you, good pieces to be on the lookout for. This first pair of shoes was a Steve Madden Landon Platform Chunky Mary Jane black leather shoes. I got these at Last Chance, which is in Chicago. It's like a Nordstrom Rack outlet, but like on steroids. I think I paid like $5 for these, and these sold on eBay for 50 bucks. So I think it was actually $48.59. But so close. I wanted to share that sale with you. They were brand new. And as I've been going through doing an inventory of all of my listings in my entire closets, I have found so many shoes, so many pieces of clothing that I thought I had listed, but that have just been sitting in storage waiting to be sold that I literally never listed. This was one of those. I thought I listed it, and then I was like, oh, I haven't listed these, put them up, and within a few days they sold. So that was a great pickup. Next up is this pair of Sorel boots. I love selling Sorel boots, and we're heading into definitely the right time of year for them. This is the pair of Glacy Explorer Shorty Cold Weather Snow Boots. I believe I got these at a Goodwill, probably for around $7, and they sold for 50 bucks. And from $50, we make $43.39. So I believe I paid around $5 for them. It's really hard sometimes with Sorel boots because I pick up quite a few at my local Goodwill as well as in the Goodwill outlet, the bins. And so that pair I feel like though is from the regular Goodwill. Next up, a very interesting find. I found this and just kind of took a chance on it based on its tag because the tag felt and looked so nice. I looked it up. It's from Takeo Kikuchi. It's a designer quilted black vest in a TK size 2 or medium. So I believe that Takeo Kikuchi, I think he might have been a Japanese designer. It was a really interesting vest. It was really cool. I paid $4 for it at a Goodwill and I sold it for $52. From $52, we make $45.32. And that's it again. That's something I've never heard of. I probably will not find it again. If I do, I'll know what it is now. But it just was one of those moments where I just knew I had to take a closer look because it looked so nice. And I'm glad that I did. And then before we move on to the next piece, I do want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Vendoo. And you guys, you know that I've been using Vendoo for years now, and I've talked about them quite a bit, but they're always expanding what they're offering to people. And so I am super excited to announce that they are now doing automatic offers as part of what they already offer on Vendoo. So Vendoo, obviously you can cross-list pieces. That's why I had my best month ever on eBay. Even when Poshmark was struggling, I was relying on Vendoo to cross-list to eBay, and that really helped me pull through this month. So not only can you cross-list to tons of different marketplaces, but now you can also send out automatic offers on some of the major marketplaces on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Depop. You can also decide what percentage you want to send out. If you want to have any exclusions, like if you want to exclude new with tags items, all these different exclusions that you can set up to make it perfect for your business, and it'll automatically send those offers out for you as people like your items on those marketplaces, which is huge. I am so excited about that. So if you guys want to give Vendoo a try, I always will have a link in the description box for you. And if you use my link, then you get 25% off your first month. So definitely a worthwhile savings. And I also definitely feel like even if you just try it out, you can try it out for free. You don't have to pay, just try it out. See if it'll work for your business. And then if it does, I feel like you're going to really feel the effects of it. I know I have seen such an increase in my business since I started using Vendoo to cross list. So definitely thank you to them for sponsoring this portion of today's video, but let's head back into the sales. So next up is a pair of APL Tech Loom Wave shoes. These are women's running shoes. They're a size 9.5, which I'm kind of kicking myself for because that's my size. I'm like, why didn't I try these on? But they sold for $52. So we made $41.60 off of that. And then we have this Patagonia women's Los Gatos jacket in Tempest Purple. It was a size small. And this sat for so long until we got back to this coming into winter, this fall time that we're in right now. And then it sold for $55. We made $41.98. And Patagonia jackets are one of those things that does well for me. I've not had tons of experience selling this type, like the furry kind, but it still did well. Next up, this vintage Woolrich winter coat. It was in a size medium. I bought this in Maryland, so we've had this for a few years now. Happy to see it go. I think this was also part of my dollar thrift challenge, if I'm not mistaken. So I've had this around for quite a while, but it sold for $62, which means we made $49.60. And it did sit for a ton of time though. Like, it was a great sale, but would I have picked it up again if I knew it was gonna sit that long? Perhaps not. Next up, a pair of Doc Martens. These were these vintage black leather chunky Oxford shoes in a size 10. I got these at my local Goodwill. I think I paid $7 for these, and then they sold for $63. So we made $55.87. So right about $48 of net profit after cost of goods, which I think is really good actually. And then next up is this Eileen Fisher wool and alpaca chunky knit cardigan sweater in a size medium petite. Was a great sale. It happened on Poshmark. We sold it for $63, made $55.64. And I almost want to say I picked this up in the bins, either that or at a Goodwill for $4. So a very low cost of goods to turn into a $63 sale. And I really do love selling Eileen Fisher. I feel like she's a quality maker. Like, the pieces are always really nice and they sell for good money for me, especially ones that have a great fabric makeup. Like, this is wool and alpaca. I knew that was going to contribute to its selling, but also it did wait to sell until we headed back into winter. So I know I list all year round, but sometimes I'm like, wow, sometimes I should just probably be waiting to list these things for the season that I think they're going to sell in. I don't know. What do you guys do? Do you list year round, or do you wait and like sell things or list things when it's going to be that season? Let me know. Because I have some swimsuits. I'm like, should I even list these right now? I feel like that is a little different in that people can be going on like vacations, but a lot of people are not like going on a vacation to somewhere colder. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Next up, the MM LaFleur, the Coretta dress in gray twill pont, size 4. I think I found this at a local Goodwill, and it sold for $65. I love MM LaFleur. I am here to say I love picking up that brand. Sold for $65. We made $52. If I picked that up at a regular Goodwill, it would have cost me $7. So $7 into $65. Happy. Next up, this Timberland Cortina Valley black genuine leather Chelsea boots in black, size 6.5. Picked it up at a normal Goodwill, sold for $67. I believe I paid around $7 or $8 for this, and we made $59.63 at the end of the day after Poshmark took its fees, and so I am pretty happy with that. I think this is something that I've realized with Timberland. I have found that Timberland boots do sell for good money, but often it's hard to find them not marked up. Or if you're in the Goodwill outlet, I feel like I can find them pretty often there, but usually they're pretty destroyed. So finding them in good condition for a good enough price to pick up is really the key here. And these black leather ones did so well, and they sold pretty quickly too. So just something to be on the lookout for is maybe their plain black style does pretty well. Next up, a bins find. I sold this on eBay. It's this Patricia Nash Bronte fringe bucket bag in green suede leather. Super cool designed bag. I loved this. Found it in the bins. Super proud of myself for that. Sold for $68.39 on eBay. We made $48.07 after eBay took its fees, which I am not a fan of eBay fees right now. I'm not a fan of any fees really. But I feel like I just lose so much money on eBay sometimes. But I only paid $1 or $2 for it. So I still made around $46 net profit. So could be worse. Then these were so cute. I just found these Paul Green shoes not too long ago. They were in this creamy blush. They were square-toed leather moccasins in a size US 9.5. They sold for $74.15 on eBay. And we made $50.41. I just feel like the difference in those two numbers is so stark to me. Like losing $15 from a $75 sale versus on one of these Poshmark ones, I sold it for $65 and made $52. So I made the same amount basically, but it was $10 less sales price. I don't know what's going on there. I don't like that, but it's okay. So we made, I think I bought these for $7, so we made $43. And then we have this pair of very interesting Vans shoes, and I don't pick up a lot of Vans. I just find that they don't sell for like a ton of money. These ones are the exception because they sold for $81.38, which is an amazing price to sell these for. So they were the Vans Ultra Range VR3 in purple platforms in men's size 13. They were in great condition. I picked these up at a local Goodwill for around, I think, $10, and we made $51.77 after everything was said and done. And I just picked these up based on a whim. I saw that these were really interesting looking, and so I looked into them and I saw that they were selling for good money, so I decided to grab them. And I'm glad I did. Then this was another really interesting sale, and one that I didn't know if it was gonna be worth grabbing. I'm glad I grabbed it now though. This was a Nigel Preston and Knight vintage distressed soft leather blazer jacket. It was an olive green, a size small, and this sold for $93. Oh, these are including the shipping fees. Okay, here's where it's going wrong. The eBay numbers are including their shipping fees. That's why we're having such a stark difference in what I make. Because this actually sold for $85 and then it's $93.99 on my spreadsheet. Okay, so with that in mind, I sold this for $85 and I was really excited about that. Selling it for $85 was awesome. I got this from that crazy like millionaire estate sale I went to where they had like Louis Vuittons, like all these crazy things. And this soft leather jacket I picked up on a whim in there just because I know leather sells. And indeed it did. I think I paid $3 for this and it sold for $85. So I'm very happy about that. That was a great sale. Then this piece sold for $80. It was this Lafayette 148, 100% wool, dark red, asymmetrical cocktail dress in a size 12. Beautiful dress from Lafayette 148. Again, it was 100% wool. The wool is helping to sell it. And Lafayette 148, I really do like to sell. It does well for me on the whole, usually. And that was a good sale. Then next up is a pair of Danner boots. I got these in the Goodwill outlet. So I paid about $2 for these. They are the Danner Tannicus Men's Tan Danner Dry Boots, leather waterproof, men's size 11. And these sold for $84.99 on eBay. And then we made $72.82. And I was super excited about this because obviously I got these in the Goodwill outlet. They were very inexpensive for me. They took just a little bit of time to sell, and it was a really good sale. Our profit was $72.82 with my cost of goods. That's about $70 of net profit at the end of the day, which is really awesome. Okay, then our next three, we have one sale from Poshmark, one from Mercari, and one from eBay. The top three of the month, all of them awesome, awesome sales. Number three is this New Tags Reformation Delavan top and gossamer white puff sleeve sweetheart blouse size 12. Y'all, I have to say, I don't remember getting this at all. I don't remember where I got this. I have no recollection whatsoever of this piece, but I was going through and doing an inventory of all of the things that I have been selling. I got to this one bin and found this top and another New With Tags Beyond Yoga top in those bins, just sitting there. They weren't listed. They'd been in those bins for who knows how long. We're not listed on my any page. We're not listed anywhere. I went and took pictures of these, listed it, and it sold within a few days for $110, which is awesome. But I literally would never have found it if I wasn't going through and doing an inventory of all of my pieces and getting rid of things that are old, discounting pieces. I am so thankful I've been doing that because that is ridiculous. Like that $110 sale would never have happened. And it's from Reformation. It was New With Tags. Like, what is happening here? So it sold for $110 and we made $88. No recollection of buying this ever, so I could not tell you how much it cost me, but really excited about that. That was an awesome sale. Another great sale this month was on Mercari. Number two was one I just showed. It sold within days for over $100, and it was this UGG classic short curly sheepskin cuff Mongolian black suede boots, size 8 for women. These boots I got at a garage sale. I think I paid like $3 for these perhaps. They sold for $112.49 on Mercari. Mercari doesn't have any seller fees until you go to take out your cash. Like when you go to cash out, they charge like a fee for that. But for a seller fee, there isn't one. So from $112.49, we make $112.49. So that was an amazing sale. That is one of the best ones I have done in a long time, where I found something for $2 and sold it for $112 and within a few days. That felt great. That was a great sale. Very happy with that. So that was my best Mercari sale. The Reformation top was my best Poshmark sale. And then my best eBay sale was this pair of Nike Dunk Low orange golf sneakers in orange and olive size 10.5. And these, I guess, were especially rare. They were this golf shoe, super cool. I got these in the Goodwill outlet. I think I put this in my best finds in the Goodwill outlet video. I put that out a while ago. They sold for $150 on eBay. We made $137.02. Got them in the bins, so I paid probably around $2 with my cost of goods. It's usually around that or $3, which means we made $134 on this pair of sneakers. They were really cool. I had Jeremy help me clean them up a little bit. We got rid of everything on the bottom because obviously they were a golf shoe, so like they had grass sticking to them and stuff. Cleaned them up, sold them for $150. And that was the best sale on eBay. So I'm glad that my top three sales were eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I think that's fun. And I have been selling on Depop too. Oh my gosh, I didn't include my Depop sales. Oh no. Well, whoopsie. I totally forgot I've been selling on Depop too. I sold 2 things on Depop this month. How cool is that? And at this point in the video, I'm probably not gonna go back and change all of my answers, but I'll show you both pieces I sold because they both sold for good money. This piece was an NFL jacket, a super cool vintage Detroit Lions jacket. It sold for $64.99 on Depop. I think I got this in the bins, so probably paid about $2. Sold for $64.99. We made $52.23. So $50 sale right there. And then a week ago, I sold the flapper dress I just showed in a video. Super cool piece. It was this amazing vintage 100% silk Shelly Siegel dress that had all of these like flapper girl prints all over it. And it says it sold for $74.99. I think I accepted an offer on this because we made $47.52. But still, super happy. 2 great sales on Depop as well. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling jazzed about that. Those were great sales. I didn't add those into my totals, but over $100 on Depop as well. That means we hit over $3,000 in sales. So that makes me feel even better. That's awesome. Okay. For having a bad month, it wasn't truly terrible. I did definitely see that decline in Poshmark sales, but that's to be expected with all the changes they made this last month. But yeah, let me know how your guys' sales went. If you sold something really cool or something that you're excited about for a good amount, then let me know in the comments. I love seeing what you guys have been selling as well. And if you guys are new here, I would love it if you guys would consider hitting that subscribe button. It's a great way to support my channel. And if you've not already tried out Vendoo, then make sure you give them a try. In the description box, you will see my code for them, and you can also get 25% off your first month. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and until the next video, bye.